Yes, indeed, it was a process highly anticipated. Every citizen of Nigeria, and indeed friend of Nigeria, waited for the day. Eventually, it came and went peacefully. Hello and welcome to the program Nigeria 2015. I am Neota Igwe. Since the announcement of the results, there have been multiple levels of reactions, from the sublime to the obvious. The citizenry has welcomed the new dawn with open arms and now await the next round of elections on April 11. It's been an excitable journey for the nation and one that is believed to be needed in order to enhance Nigeria's democracy. After 1983, Nigeria's next foray into democracy was in 1993. There were two political parties then, NRC and SDP. That journey was cut short in 1999. When President Olusegun Obasanjo, until 1999, when President Olusegun Obasanjo emerged as president on the platform of the People's Democratic Party. The People's Democratic Party held on to the leadership of this nation till March the 31st, when the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Tahiru Jega, announced the result of the March 28 elections, giving the All Progressives Congress the leadership of the nation. Now, there are those who ask questions, however, if Nigeria is practicing democracy in the true tenets of the word. But here on the show, we will, in the course of the program, hear from some of our correspondents about events in their locations. We'll go to Borno, or begin with Kano, where Idris Jibrin will tell us what's happened, updates on the death of the resident electoral commissioner, and then Blessing Tuno will be speaking to us from Borno State. For those of you on the social media platform, our media platforms are available for you to air your views on the program. You can tweet at us using the hashtag Nigeria 2015. Please use the Twitter handles on your screen at Channels TV and at Neota Igwe. If you have comments or questions of more than 140 characters, do send us an email, nigeria2015@channelstv.com. You can also send us pictures through our Eyewitness platform. Now, here's how you do that. Download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones. Tap on the application to show the Eyewitness menu and follow the instructions. You can also send us your report on this platform using the SMS medium. Now, in the course of the elections, we got a lot of pictures from viewers around the world. We want to encourage you and thank you to continue to send in some of these pictures. But today, joining us on the show, Alhaji Lai Muhammed is the National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressives Congress. Barrister Dele Adesina, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, is also on the show, and Remi Adikubakare, a member of the People's Democratic Party, joins us via Skype from our studios in Abuja. Now, let's take a quick look at the election results. How did the two leading parties fare in the nation and then down to the regions? And then what's the outlook for the next elections? If you look at the big picture there, that's a map of Nigeria, the green showing the All Progressives Congress winning by 21 states, and the People's Democratic Party, red, winning in 15 states, plus the Federal Capital Territory. Now, let's see what's going on in the regions. How did they all fare? The breakdown of the nation into regions. There you go. You have the People's Democratic Party winning only in Nasarawa, Plateau, and the FCT. That's the North Central region. Now, from the North Central region, let's see what goes on in the other regions real quickly, if you can help me there. Let's go Northeast. You have the APC winning Yobe, Borno, Bauchi, Gombe, Adamawa, and the PDP in Taraba only. Northwest, you have the All Progressives Congress winning in all the states in the Northwest: Kebbi, Sokoto, Zamfara, Katsina, Kano, Kaduna, and Jigawa states. The APC won in all those. But let's go Southeast. We won in all the states in the Southeast: Enugu, Anambra, Imo, Abia, and Ebonyi states there. Let's see what happens in the South. The PDP won in all the states of the South as well: Edo, Delta, Rivers, Cross River, Elsa, and Akwa Ibom states. North Central states, you have Niger, Kwara, Kogi, Benue going to the APC, and Nasarawa and Plateau again going to the All Progressives. I think we took that earlier on when we started out with the regions. But let's go beyond how the parties fared. What's going to happen in the next elections that are coming up? Governorship elections, would it be a replay of the presidential trends? How would the people be voting? What are the odd factors that will come to play in the governorship elections, or would the parties still be bonded in the play? Would it be neck and neck, or would there be leading parties in the states as we go into the elections on April the 11th? What are the issues that are still hanging, the issues that are at stake? One is the card reader. That, when we started out the elections on March the 28th, the card reader was a major issue. A few of them failed across the country, forcing INEC at a certain point in time to revert back to manual accreditation for all those that voted in the election. Now, some people were actually accredited using the card reader. But then hiccups in Rivers and Imo State, have they been rectified? Have they been sorted out? Would they resurface, or would some other states have their own levels of hiccups in the next elections? These and some other questions that we're hoping we'll get answers to today on the show. So let's begin immediately as I join my guest, and let's find out. Alhaji Lai Muhammed, let me begin with you. Victory. Your party has been celebrating. It's been a fantastic one. But let's look at it. How would you say the significance of, yes, there have been mixed reactions or levels of reactions to the phone call by the president to the president-elect, and then the olive branch offered by the president-elect to the incumbent president? What's the significance of all of this?
Well, I think as the results were coming in, there was a lot of apprehension all over the country. I think at a point in time, it was clear to everybody where the pendulum was going to swing. But what was not clear to all was whether PDP was going to concede defeat or not. And that was actually probably much more important than even the victory itself. So it was really, really, a big relief to the whole world when the president, in a very pleasant surprise, considered defeat. And I think this will go down as probably the highest point in the political career of President Goodluck Jonathan, that he saved this country from crisis, saved the country from needless confrontation, saved the country from possible breakup, and you must give that to him. Equally, I think the president-elect also lived up to his words. He always said it from the beginning, that what happened up to 29th of May will not be his main focus, but rather how to move the country forward. And yes, his government would have zero tolerance for corruption, but that will not mean that he's going to spend valuable time on distraction, going back to what happened before him. But however, from 29th of May, sin no more. So I think the country has been very lucky, on the one hand, to have a president that was very conscious of his date with history.
Okay. Before I bring in Mr. Additional, let me go to Abuja Studios, where Mrs. Bakare is standing by to weigh in on this particular matter. Mrs. Bakare, the olive branch, the response of the president to the results, and then the olive branch extended by the president-elect. Now, Alhaji Lai Muhammed has said that the two actions have been like moving the country and the citizenry and the democracy in Nigeria forward. What's your take on that?
Well, I'm so glad that all that started well has also ended well. The true position is Mr. President has shown the whole world that he's a very, very considerate person. He has the fear of God, and that whatever happens, the country comes first. So Nigeria is the winner, not him, not anybody else. I also want to believe that in doing what he did, he was mindful of the fact that no one single person is greater than Nigeria. So I'm happy about what he did, and I also want to commend him. And the statement by the president-elect that he would hit the ground running, marching forward, and not looking back at what anybody must have done. It's also a welcome decision from him. And I just hope that what President Jonathan has started in this country, other leaders will look at it and emulate it. Because let's face it, he could jolly well have stopped the election at the point where we found the underage people voting and so on and so forth. But he decided to just watch. And when the result was what it was, he congratulated the winner. We thank him for this. History will always have him on the right side of itself. And also wished the president-elect, just as the president has wished him, good tenure, rancor-free, and nobody's promising him any hellfire.
Okay, Mrs. Bakari, let Mr. Adeshina come in here, but from this angle. Now, there's this conspiracy theory, many call it conspiracy theory, that this election has shown an alliance between the North and the West against the East and the South. Do you agree with that?
Well, the result may give credence to that, but I do not agree. You see, when you talk about conspiracy presupposes a situation where people sit down together to agree to do a thing or agree not to do a thing. That is the definition from the point of view of legality. I don't think that there was any time, even though one does not belong to any of the parties, I don't think there was any time when people sat down and said, this is how we must do it, we must exclude, we must include one section or the other. And I think it is very important for us to look at the issues of Nigeria beyond sectional interest. And that is why I made a statement somewhere that we must also capitalize on the success of this election to begin to renew our sense of patriotism in the project called Nigeria, so that we begin to see Nigeria as a nation that belongs to us all. We begin to see democracy as a project that we all must promote to succeed. And having said that, let me also lend my own voice to what has been expressed by the earlier two speakers. I've had cause to ask myself, how is it that we have not produced an individual that everybody from the East, the North, the West, and the South we acknowledge as a hero, Nigerian hero? And I think if I'm permitted to go to that level, President Jonathan has come out as a hero from this election. His reaction to the result, even before the official announcement, I believe has short-circuited democratic process in Nigeria by almost 50 or 100 years. Nobody would ever thought we would get to this point, this early in the process. And don't forget that both within and without, people approached this election with so much trepidation, so much apprehension, so much fear and anxiety. But it was like puncturing a balloon by the time the information fizzled out that Mr. President has conceded. It was a very good thing on his part to have done. And like it has also been said, the president-elect too has been very magnanimous. Two things are key in a democracy, because it is a question of choice, and it must be a choice between two competing or more choices. Okay. Somebody will win, other will lose, but the person who has lost must be gracious to accept it, and the person who has won must be magnanimous.